Hi, this is Mike, and you're watching Real Black. And today we're with Wayne Blair, who is back. He's here in the States.
Yep.
And he's won a slew of Australian Oscars for his movie, The Sapphires.
All right, first up, we've got sisters from the place called Cromararunge.
Well, today I started loving you.
That wasn't terrible.
Read this, will ya?
Singers and dancers wanted in Vietnam.
Why are you showing me that?
You need a job, don't ya? We're offering you one.
You're black, and you're singing country and western music. It's just wrong.
Well, what do you think we should sing?
If you want to perform for the brothers in Vietnam, you gotta give them soul.
What would this dopey white fella know about soul music?
My blood runs Negro, woman.
Just for people that don't know, who are the Sapphires?
Yeah, it's great to be here, Mike, by the way. I'm loving Philly. The Sapphires, it's an all-girl group. And the film is about an all-girl group based on a true story that were performed back in 1968 in Melbourne, Australia, and with the help of this Irish musician, went to Vietnam and sung for the American troops. And what they did, they sung soul music. So it's based on that band back in the day in '68.
Love the film. I mean, I love how it mixes cultures, and as an African American, I could certainly appreciate seeing sort of the Aboriginal experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that Tony Briggs, the co-writer of the film, it's his mum's story, and from the outset, that was one of the things that he wanted to talk about, just the relationship between the African American sort of story and the Aboriginal story, and sort of it's not the whole part of the film, but it just rears its head, and you just get a little bit of that.
How did you become involved with the Sapphires, and what was your...
Well, I was an actor in the original stage play back in 2005, and the writer, Tony Briggs, again, he's a good friend of mine, and he just simply asked me, hey, after the play finished, because we'd get standing ovations, we got a sold out, there's a theatre company in Sydney called the Belvoir Street Theatre Company, and Jeffrey Rush is a patron of that theatre company. So we sold out there every night for a period of 6 weeks, and we used to get standing ovations, and so at the end of that, Tony got a number of producers, 2 or 3 producers from the States and like 3 or 4 producers from Australia were asking him, look, come on, we can make this into a film. And he was sort of umming and ahhing, but during the process, he sort of said to me, hey, do you want to be the director? So it was just a sort of a promise between 2 friends. But, that was the premise of that too, him being the co-writer of the film, being a person of colour, myself being a person of colour, the cinematographer, Warwick Thornton, who was a Samson Dial, a person of colour, the choreographer. So in those sort of, just to empower ourselves as well. And so that was good, and that was Tony's mission statement from the outset.
What's interesting to me is The Sapphires is one of 3 recent movies directed by Aboriginal filmmakers to play at the Cannes Film Festival.
That's true. Ivan Sen directed Tumula, which was in Cannes 2 years ago. Sapphires, of course, which was our film, and 2 years before that was Warwick Thornton's Samson and Delilah, which won the Camera d'Or at Cannes. So 3 years in a row, yes.
Well, congratulations! It's amazing. It's sort of like the doors have opened up at Sundance for African American filmmakers. I mean,
yes.
What exactly is happening over there? Do you think?
Look, I think it's the last 30 or 40 years with the Indigenous cinema and theatre. It's picked up in Australia, and it's not a sense of picked up. There's more opportunity, but it's just fighting the system. The sharpest axe is ground on the hardest stone. So for us, the lifestyle in Australia has been it's been a hard struggle, but yet we found joy and we found heart and humour in ourselves during that sort of journey. And so in the last, 10 years, we're sort of, what Spike Lee talks about, the demystification of film. And for me especially, like from my own journey, I thought making film was such a foreign thing. If someone else can do that, please. But in the last 10 years, because I was originally as an actor, and I've just sort of taught myself skills and learnt off the best, both black filmmakers and white filmmakers. And, here I am with my first feature film, and I'm just loving making film. It's sort of no fluke in a sense of, like, to where I am now, the film's worked, but it's the best thing about it is that I've learnt and I'm becoming more confident at what I do. So, but yeah, it's that journey, and suddenly the fruition of it is happening. You know, this is just one story about, you know, these 4 girls that went to Vietnam. These 4 Aboriginal girls. There's the point of difference for those stories. There's so many. So we need more filmmakers. But now it's that process of getting more filmmakers behind the camera, not just the cinematographers, because there's about 3 or 4 brilliant Indigenous cinematographers in Australia, but designers and makeup artists and, you know, grips and gaffers. So that's the aim now. To, I suppose, the dream one day is to have an all Indigenous, you know, crew on set, which I think will happen.
I like that. The response has been incredible. I mean, what do you hope people take away from it?
It's one of those films where you can, like, you know, go into the cinema and have a little sort of cry, you know, have a little laugh, and you can sort of walk out of that cinema feeling a little bit more human again. So that's my mission statement, and it's working thus far. I mean, you know, and sort of coming together, and you learn a little bit about the world in itself. You learn a lot about Aboriginal people in the outset, but of course, with the catalyst of this sort of Irish guy who's fractured in himself, they sort of live a bit of their dreams. So that's a wonderful thing.
All right, Wayne Blair, The Sapphires. You got to go see this movie. It's great.
Move over, Aretha. Pack your bags, Supremes. There are some new cats in town. The Sapphires! You saying because I'm white I can't dance? Is that it?
Yep.
Well, that's just racist. You're a racist. You should know better.
Yeah, hey, my name is Wayne Blair, and you're watching Real Black.